Hey guys, welcome to another video in the Keebs channel. Thank you for joining in. Today we're back with another unscripted video, Keebs In Focus. Today we're gonna talk about the ID80, the ID80 Crystal Edition. So this is the case of the keyword. We're gonna talk about it, compare it to some boards that I've tried. And yeah, this is the ID80 Crystal Edition. So, you know, guys, ID80 is a pretty good company when it comes down to budget boards, with their ID80 lineup being very popular and their ID80 V2, a more premium version of that, being very popular as well. So yeah, today we have the gasket mount edition. So the difference is that this is a gasket mount now, and it comes in a clear case. There is two colorways. We have the full acrylic, so this is made acrylic clear case, and there's a smoky acrylic case, which I don't personally like as much, but yeah, this one is the Crystal Edition. They also have a best type edition, which is like white. It's the same internals, but it's aluminum. So today we're gonna talk about this keyboard compared to some other boards that I have tried, and yeah, and see if this board is worth it. So this board comes in at $259, which is in the mid-range of sorts. We have the KBD67 Mark II in there. We've got, you know, some boards like even the Frog TKL is around that price as well. So kind of pricey for this. So it comes in two parts here. We have the top case, acrylic full top case, and we have the bottom case. So this bottom case is full clear, which is pretty nice. I kind of like the clear aesthetic look of it. And there's also this, which is a removable USB-C, I don't know, shield, you could say. It's fully brass. It's a nice accent when the board's finished. You just slide it down, which is pretty easy to do. So yeah, full acrylic. This board, when it's all done, is measured at 1.5 kilos, which is not too heavy. So let's talk about the keyboard in general. So this is a 75% layout. We have the main component of the alphas right here. We have two 1.5 Vs. It's using a 6.25 V spacebar, has a F13, and three other keys on the end. But yeah, it's a exploded 75% layout, and we have the brass plate. This only comes with the brass plate, but you can make your own plates, I believe. Like Hippotech made a palm plate for it. So yeah, it's pretty good. I like this kind of layout of 75%. I don't like those clustered ones like the fixed ones with the KBD75 V3s or KBD75 V2s. Those kind of layouts are not my thing. But yeah, I lost the words there, but we'll continue. So what makes this keyboard a little bit more special than other boards is that this board is a gasket mount. So the ID80 V1 and V2 and the rest of the ID line are integrated plate mounts, which is not particularly good because those kind of keyboards have a really stiff typing feel. I don't quite like it. You know, there's no movement on the plate at all because the plate is combined with the top case. Now for this one, it uses gaskets. As you can see here, there's a lot of gasket slots available around the case, the top and the bottom case as well. So there's a major difference here. So the first variation of the ID80 Crystal had a problem with its it used pour-on foam, and sometimes the plate didn't even touch the bottom foam, so it didn't do its job. But they revised it, I believe, and it now uses like these little O-rings that have been cut to size, and you can just slot them in with friction. No glue, no tape and stuff. Just friction fit them into the case slots here, and they should be your gasket. So this is quite similar to a board that I've made, which is the PLA75. which uses similar O-rings, but you need to cut them by yourself. And the Gionworks F18X also uses these types of O-rings, but not cut into position like this. Okay, so we have the PCB. This is a hot swap PCB. As you can see here, it is hot swap, 75% PCB. It has underglow and per key white light only. So yeah, white lights on the per keys, but RGB underglow fully available. It's also compatible on VIA or VIA, which is very good, you know, really nice to have. And yeah, it's a pretty simple PCB. We have some Star Kon Momo Tactiles, which is a really good tactile switch that I have used for this build, this client's build. So let's talk about building the keyboard out. So we have the bottom case. When you put in all the gaskets aligned and you built your case, your PCB and your plate with all the switches, you just need to slot it in where the gaskets sit. There's like little holes here, and they have like mounting, a little bit of a mounting point there so it doesn't move around, which is a good thing to have. And you just take the top case and just slot it down. And what you want, and what happens is that the top gaskets and the bottom gasket compress the plate together, so there's no mounting points in the middle of the bottom of the case, which is what you see on tray mount keyboards. So what you do now is you take the screws. These are Phillips heads. Everyone should have a Phillips head screwdriver. Not too hard. You have 8 screw holes. So yeah, just screw all of them in, and that's it. All right, so here's the bottom brass weight. As you guys can see, it's a pretty nice brass weight. There's like an enamel filling for the the Everbow logo. There's, you know, it's not the best brass weight, but it does the job. And yeah, pretty good one. So this board also comes with standoffs, but I did not use the standoffs because, you know, standoffs, what's the point? You get a plate foam as well for this PCB, so that makes it less, you know, it makes using a standoff not really worth it. So just leave it out. It's completely fine without using it. So this board is priced at $259. I mentioned it earlier in the video. It's $259. Is it worth it? I think it's a little bit overpriced in my opinion. I think for $259 you can get something like the Frog TKL by saving up a little bit more money, or you can get something like the KBD67 Mark II, which is a top mount. I'm not saying this board is bad, but for an acrylic case, which is a good acrylic case by the way, I think $259 is a little bit steep. So this board was originally around $289, which is very high, but it's now discounted in their ID80 website. I'll link it down below, but it's around $259 with discount now. That's pretty good. So here is the keyboard fully built, and I think it looks fantastic. I think this board looks very classy with its brass plate. It comes out really well, and I like how the acrylic looks, and I think having a full white keycap set here makes it look very premium. Here is the side profile of the case. This is my favorite part of the keyboard. You can see the brass, you can see the PCB, you can see the gaskets as well, and the switches. And yeah, it's a really nice look here. Here's the back of the case again with the brass weight and the see-through bottom. Here's the brass accent piece for the USB-C. I don't know if there's going to be any problems with any cables, but so far of testing, I have no problems with this. So the angle of the keyboard is also not too tall, pretty comfortable to type on. And there you go. There is the per key, sorry, not the per key, the RGB underglow around the case. I think the RGB's not that well done, to be honest. You know, it's not a milky case, so milky cases usually disperse the light better, but this is a clear one. Not really well diffused, but does the job. You can always turn it off and turn it on to other settings in VIA. So yeah, I will give you guys a typing test of this keyboard and show you guys what this keyboard sounds. I think it sounds pretty good, but I'll let you guys have a little listen. Okay. So yeah, that is how the keyboard sounds. I think it sounds pretty fantastic. It's not the best sounding keyboard out there, but I think for an ID80 board, it doesn't sound hollow at all. I believe the acrylic case takes in the sound a little bit better than an alu case. An alu case would be a little bit more hollowy. This does have the plate foam in it. I think it helps a lot. I'm not too sure if you build it without the plate foam. I think it would be pretty bad sounding, but with the plate foam, I think it sounds pretty good. These Kon Momo Tactiles are excellent, by the way. These are not my new favorite tactile switches, but yeah, sounds pretty deep, but it has a little bit of clacky high pitch because of the brass plate. Yeah, it sounds quite loud. It's quite a loud board, so I don't know if you want to carry this to your office, but it's quite loud. With ID80 boards, they are generally quite loud sounding. So yeah, I think it sounds good. Overall, it looks good. It's easy to build as well. So I would recommend this board. I mean, if it was a little bit lower priced, I would definitely recommend it. But for $259, it's kind of steep. But if you like something like a 75% and its hot swap gasket mount is also good, yeah, it's not a bad board. So talking about the typing feel on this, it has a softer bottom out than compared to other ID80 boards. Yeah, it has a quite soft bottom out. It's not flexy in any way, and it's not bouncy as well. But there is a little bit of movement when you hit some areas. The PCB tends to go down a little bit because of the gasket, but I would maybe recommend, if you guys want, to take out the side gaskets here to get a little bit more flex. So yeah, I think it's a pretty decent typing feel. Not the best, but not bad. Right, now comparing it to the GMMK PRO, which is a $160 aluminum keyboard, and this is an acrylic keyboard. I'd personally take this. I'd personally take this board over the GMMK PRO. Why? First of all, I feel the typing feel on this board is much better. This sounds better as well for me compared to the GMMK PRO. I think GMMK PRO is kind of too muted. And it sounds kind of bad in some ways, but yeah, this is much easier to rebuild and build. The GMMK PRO is filled with screws, but yeah, this is a really nice board. I think the price justifies it over the GMMK PRO, even though the GMMK PRO is the better board regarding its budget and what you get. But for this, I really recommend this board. Yeah, ID80 Crystal Edition gets a thumbs up from me. If you want to get it, it is in stock in ID80. I'm not sponsored in any way by ID80, so these are all my thoughts, and they are unscripted. And yeah, you can catch me streaming every Monday and Thursdays, 9:30 p.m. GMT +7 on twitch.tv/YoKeebs. I'll do a Sanyo 60 review next, but we'll see. So thank you guys for joining in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.